Very much, Dr. Reddy. Thank you, all the participants for coming. Of course, thanks to the all-grade staff who are here and the High Commissioner for launching. But first of all, I'd like to acknowledge all the people who have been essential to get this workshop going. You've got Mr. Wangabonobono, of course, the acting government statistician. Tonga Raikoti, unfortunately, is suffering from the brain drain, and he's now gone and joined the SPC. Mr. Balan Rocker is still here, and I hope he doesn't go away. All the Fiji Bureau of Statistics staff, because there are a lot of people throughout the country, without whose hard work, these survey, would not be possible. And Nipeli has just outlined the kinds of difficulties people face. You should always keep remembering that whenever government people go to households and ask householders, what is your income? You imagine what the householders say. What is your expenditure? What did you spend your money on? These are very difficult personal questions. So it's a wonder at all that you get anything that's reasonable coming from there. I'd like to thank the two institutions who have helped me over the last year in doing the analysis and writing, Kagoshima University Research Center for Pacific Islands and Cairns Institute at James Cook University, who really did give me a lot of help. I'd like to thank Dr. Mahendra Reddy and the Fiji National University for agreeing to co-host the launching of this report, especially in Nandi and Nabasa, where they provide the facilities and all the support. I'd like to thank Ms. Belinda Seriulumi. She has been really doing the donkey's work around behind the scenes and doing all the hard work getting everything organized, including rebooking our fares to Lambasa and Nandi 3 times, because the airline that we have cancels the booking at the end of every day unless they've received some cash from us. And I'd like to, of course, thank OZAID for funding the data analysis and the writing of the report. And they've also funding the printing of the reports as well, and the cost of the workshops over here in Suva. So this is the first presentation. I just outlined the workshop. First of all, we'll go through the basic methodology and the policy implications. Then we'll have a look at the macroeconomic picture, the basic results, and the policy implications. So, now there are 6 sessions, each outlining the basic results and policy implications. This will be done by FBS and myself, and these are the 6 broad areas. Then within each, the FBS presentation will be followed by key stakeholder presentations, giving us their ideas on the directions we should be going. And you can see from the content of all these things that these household survey reports are not just for analyzing poverty and for rebasing the CPI. There's a lot of other policy areas which the Ministry of Health, Education, Social Welfare, and others are interested in. So hopefully by the end of the day, we will end up with a large number of recommendations, not just with what the report is saying, perhaps we should be moving towards, but what all the other stakeholders who will be presenting over here in Suva, Lambasa, and Nandi. And it is hoped that the Ministry of Planning and of course the Ministry of Finance will try to see what they can incorporate into their policy decisions. So there's some reading material for this workshop. I will leave it. This presentation will be available to anybody who wants it. But the kinds of stuff that we're talking about in this workshop are there in many of these things. So you can find them at the Bureau of Stats. You can also see them on my own personal website, which is called Narsey on Fiji, and you can download all of them from my website. So in historical context, I mean, these household surveys are extreme. They're gold mines of information, right? You can, as you'll see from the content of the workshop, they're of interest to government, also to civil society and donors, and you'll find at the end of the day, from the range of topics that we will have covered, that these household surveys can give you a lot more information than what is there in the report. We had to cut short the report because to make it readable, and user-friendly, you cannot pile everything else, everything that's available in there. It's just, if you like, it's a kind of an appetizer for people who would like to get more analysis out of this data. Everybody, the first question they'll be asking you is, given these household surveys, what can you say about the impact of the change of government in December 2006? But to be absolutely honest, given the timing of the 2002-3 survey and the timing of the 2008-9 survey. The change of government took place at the end of 2006. There have been two governments who have been in operation during this period, so you can't say which government, was responsible for what trend. Although, if you are able to read between the lines, you can draw some conclusions. But the data does not definitely give you an answer on these things.